mucking about with my tiger moth and the cars and all that. I haven't done them for a very long time, and I wanted to get my hands back in before starting on them again, in case I muck them up. So I thought, coming up to Christmas, let's do a Christmas one. So what more Christmassy can you get than a pair of robins? So it is the Airfix Wildlife Series robins, and I believe these are 1-to-1 scale. Yes they are, yep. And sitting on a nice little log with holly and that on it, and should be a nice little subject for the Christmas period. The box is actually quite full of stuff. I'll have a look at the instructions first. You've seen these before. There's 8 build instructions on here. Basically the tree, the first 3 parts, and then the rest is basically putting the birds together and painting them. There is some bump on the back here. It gives you a nice picture of the bird, where it residence, and it's a bit of history on the bird itself. Where it feeds, what it feeds on, and that sort of thing. So quite a bit of education on that bit there, and we'll put that away. There are no transfers in this box. There isn't any other bird. So let's have a look at the parts. This is a second-hand kit that I had. I bought off of a chap who's selling up his stuff, so all the stuff was out of the bag, so he'd already looked at it. The parts, there's a little bit of flash on them, not too much, but in this case it doesn't really matter. It gives some extra bit of plastic to carve in to get rid of the joint on the tree and the birds itself. You can use the extra plastic to cover in that joint. Base, it's got quite a sturdy base on this. I do know these are quite sturdy, but if you wanted to, just to make certain, you can fill this base up with some plaster of Paris, something like that, or maybe a few lead weights in there, and give it some weighted to hold it down. But you don't really need to. On the bottom of this, it is actually got 1979 Airfix product limited. So that's the age of it, 1979. And there are three sprues altogether. The first one you've just seen there, a bit of flash, but not too much. Again, over here, some of the holly leaves have got a bit of flash on them, but not too bad at all. There's a mould line around the edge. Again, not worrying about that too much because it's a very fine line. This tree has got both birds on it, the tail sections and the heads, and the feathering looks very realistic, as you've seen on the blue tit one as well. This time it's got holes in for where you can plug in the feet that I can leave off and paint these and paint the feet and then put them on afterwards. I don't have to worry about piggling around inside feet and that. It seems to be a very nice kit itself. It's not too flashy. The mould line's very fine on it, and it looks like it's been moulded very well. And the last tree here, it's the bottom part of the birds, or the front part of the birds, the breast part, and again the moulds come out quite nice. It's very good representation of the feathers and that. And here we have the claws of one of the birds. Again, there's a little bit of a pin mark just in here, I can see. That'll have to be filled. But apart from that, there's not much filling to do on this at all. Right, I've come out a bit now. I'm going to just start gluing these together. I'm going to use some thick cement for this, because I want it to squeeze out the joints as well. So I got that extra bit of carving I can do if I need to make it bark light, shall we say. Okay, that's part one of the glue up. It's done. All I've also done is I've gone round all the other bits where I need just to put a little bit of filler in. I'll put that in, and that can be drying overnight as well, so I'll get a nice hard finish on that tomorrow. what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these now about 4 to 5 hours, and I'm going to come back, take off the bands and the clamps on this, and fit the two halves of the birds together to finish off the body of the bird itself. So, okay, it's completely dry, and I'm not very happy with these ones. They really haven't gone together that well. May have been the sun this year. I said it's got hot in here. I think it's warped some of the parts. They've gone together not too badly, but there's still big gaps in these ones and that. And on getting out the wings and trying them on here, I said those gaps will disappear, except for the one along the back here. I'll pop the two wings on where they're supposed to go, which is about there and there. I've got a big hole, big gap in the back here, so I'm going to have to fill that up, harden off, and then I'm going to get a warm, something warm so I can put on there and smooth that down between the wings if I put them on there. So it'd be between there and there. Just smooth that down so it's got to smooth back with the feathers. I'm sure the feathers don't stick up on the back of it. Okay, the birds have had overnight to dry, and they dried out very nicely actually here. I've also, during the meantime, filled all the gaps up that I needed to fill up on here. There was a few little ones. I've scraped down the joints and used the edge of a knife just to carve in the feathers over the joints, so they should disappear quite quickly now. You can still see where my bit of dirt on my hands, it's down the sides of the seams, but that will wash off before I do the painting. The seams have virtually disappeared now, and hopefully when I put the primer on here they will have disappeared altogether. Right, they're ready for priming now. Right, I've done the priming on these parts here. The seam's completely gone on the tree. The mould line around the outside, I've now got it all now. I can see that there's no mould line on it. These are ready for paint, so these go back in the box. Now, on the birds, this one I smoothed down the feathers to see if I could do it, but I had to put some filler on it. But there's still the line there, so I'm going to have to put some more filler on it tonight and let it dry overnight. Also, I hadn't noticed, but I left a seam on here, so I'm going to have to do that one as well before going to bed. This one, checking over, all the seams are completely disappeared, so that's fine. But I've still got to do the back end of this. As this one has worked, I can do it on this one now as well. So I'll do those tonight, come back in the morning, sand them down, put the feathers in and prime them, and then I'll show you the results of that. So until then, see you soon. Okay, I've got on with the birds now. I think you saw last time I just undercoated them and let that dry. Now I masked up the area that I wanted to be browned out. It's just an outline of basically where I need it to be. And then I give it a light coat of very watered down, mud brown, or thin down coat of that. And I put a couple of coats of that on. I didn't like it, so what I did, I needed it darker, but I still needed that lightness in it as well. So what I did was I got another bottle of US brown, watered that down, or thinned it down I should say, and give it another coat of that, and it came out not too bad, but my pre-shading was still showing through too much. Sorry, I've got it out. So it was showing through too much. So I done a pure, straight out the bottle spray over the top, and that did it. I then got some ink, which is I can't read that, something brown, but it's a very dark brown ink, and I've done the lines over it. I don't know whether you can see them on this one here. but they have been done to darken down all the shaded areas, the underside of the wings, that sort of thing. It's looking very effective, even if I do say so myself. I've done the same on the trunk. Now I've got to leave those to dry. While they're drying, I'm going to jump down onto the berries and the ivy leaves. I've also done the berries here as well. They're ready to go on. They've been glossed already. I've done the feet here, the legs and claws of the birds. They need a bit of highlighting, maybe a wash over them or something like that, just to finish them off, and they can go on the birds. As you can see here, I've done the birds. I've just got to tidy up some of the bird bits just around the edge where I've left a little bit of white. I've gone over too far with this. What I'll have to do is I'll have to put some paint on here, and I'll give it a little bit of a rough edge like their feathers. Actually, there's still a bit of let me take that off. There we go. Not that, that's not it, is it? No. Like I said, a little bit of dry brushing between the colour folds. One to take off the extra little colour that I've left on there. Well, I haven't gone quite to the line, and we'll do some dry brushing on there. I can get it a bit more rough and more feather-like between the colours. You can see them here. I haven't got gloss black to do the eyeballs with. So what I did it with actually NATO black, and then I put a gloss finish over the top of them. So they're done, ready to go on. I've just got to paint the eyeballs themselves. Another thing is I've done all the painting on this now. I was going to grey this out a little bit, and I may still just do a dry brush of grey over the top of this, but thinking about it, this is the actual size of the branch. Now, this is only a small branch, and it's been cut off basically like a pair of shears or something and dropped onto the ground, so it's fairly new. What I did, I put a bit of green over the bottom for moss-like, and the same on the base here. I've done sandstone finish on these here, and a bit of grey stones as well, some brown stones. I may put some grass texture on this, I don't know. I have to wait and see, but I probably won't, not on this particular one. As I said, I've got this on here, and I've got the berries and green berries coming off of here. So you see the olive leaves and the green, the red berries and all that sort of thing on here, and the birds will sit on here nicely. So I'll probably leave it a plainer base with just a sandstone rock on the bottom there, here, or chips I should say, because that's probably what they are. They're chips from the garden. And this is a branch off of a olive tree, olive bush that's been cut off, and the birds are just sitting on it. So that's where I've got to so far. Hopefully I'll finish it within the next couple of days. I've still got the wings to paint. I've got to paint these up as well. These are taking some time, you know, so I'll give those a coat paint and all that. All the rest of the stuff's done here. The branch is done on both legs, all the claws have been done. I have to redo some of the bits and pieces on it, but with some lighter browns and all that sort of stuff. So, hi everyone. It's 9:30 on Christmas Day. Got this all done, it's all completed now. I've been up since 5 this morning, so I'm always up early on a Christmas Day. But it's all been done, it's all been glued together this morning, and it really is. It's not come out too bad. It's not as good as I was hoping it for, but it's not bad. Having said that, the Vallejo paints, I will never use these again on this type of subject. If you go back to the Bluebird, you'll see that I've used acrylic, humble acrylic on them, and I've got a brilliant job done on them. So I'm going to go back to humble acrylic for the next lot, which is the bullfinch. I'll try and get them done this year sometime. All in all, not a bad model. it is a bit tail heavy, as you might say. It needs a little bit of weight on the front of this underneath here, and I'll do that later on. I'll buy some weight from the fishing shop, and I'll stick some lead underneath there just to pull it forward a bit. Apart from that, it's fine. It's not too bad, like I said. I'm happy with the finish. Could have been better. If I'd used, like I said, if you used humble ones, it would have been better. So, all in all, I've had a look at the photographs online, and these seem to be pretty close to it. As close as I can get at the moment. So, I'll put this on a carousel and give you the final shots. Just to say before I go, Happy Christmas, have a nice day, and have a prosperous and lots of modelling in the new year. So, see you soon. Bye for now.